Yeah. So, um, back in 2015, I was living in a flat in Johnsonville, and what it felt like to me is that Angelina Jolie was like telepathically communicating with me. Now, I don't know what it was. It could have been the devil, it could have been God, it could have been Angelina Jolie. I don't know. But I swear to God, I was looking in the mirror and she said to me, "You can put it in my pussy," right? I know it's a bit adult, but hey, that's what it sounded like. Now, maybe it was a response for me because I was addicted to porn at the time. I'm not addicted to porn now. I'm overcoming that vice. I don't know what it was, but I definitely felt like she said that. And I felt like she was communicating me for quite a few years. I got obsessed with her. And I also, there was a time when God said to me, it wasn't too long ago, when I was playing one of my songs in my kitchen. He said, "Oh, you're going to hell." And then I heard Angelina Jolie say, "Oh, I'll miss you." And um, it's not the only time I've felt her presence in my mind, but I, I really do believe in telepathy. And for some reason, I went through a period of years where I was just bombarded with people in my head, and I'm on medication now. I don't know if the medication has anything to do with stopping it because I'm not feeling those voices anymore. So, I mean, it could have been some miswiring in my head or something, but definitely felt telepathy with a bunch of people and they weren't good influences on me. And I really feel angry about it because I feel like they're to blame for the way I perceived heaven and my goals in life. Like I wish they just weren't there and they'd gone away and all I could do is focus on Jesus because Jesus obviously is the way to heaven because that's what anecdotally you hear. Um, and one time I was getting drunk um, at my house in Johnsonville where I used to live, and I swear to God, I saw Jesus. I saw him like as an aura, sitting down, smiling at me, playing guitar and getting drunk. So like when I live my life since then, I've always thought that playing guitar and getting drunk was fine. But then, like in 2023, God turned around and said, in fact, he said it earlier than that when I was getting high all night. He said, "Oh, this guy's going to hell to the ducks." I was looking at the ducks and then God said I was going to hell. And then I ignored it for a year or so. And then it came back and God said, "Oh, you're going to hell." And yeah, that going to hell, that's when Angelina Jolie said, "Oh, yeah, I'll miss you." So, and I'm on the meds. If you're worried about me, I'm on meds. I don't really want to be on the meds, but I don't want to disappoint anyone or scare anyone because I've told my parents all about this and they might be scared if I came off the meds because they're not religious and it probably just sounds all just crazy and insane. And it is pretty crazy and insane. I don't know why I went through all of this and it's not, I don't really blame myself. You can't really blame someone for going through things like these if they have no control over it, which I don't have any control over it, obviously, because I didn't choose to have my brain. But telepathy is definitely real, I reckon. Like one time I was working at Whitkill's and I was infatuated with this girl, Janelle. and like for years, like years and months, like it must have been over a year, and she was just working over on the opposite side of the mall, and I was infatuated with her. I mean, I seriously think I loved her, and to this day I will say that I loved her. It wasn't lust, definitely just wasn't lust, because I don't think about her like that. I thought about her in a completely different way. And she's on YouTube and stuff, and she ignores all my comments and stuff, and it really bums me out. But anyway, she was over there, and I was working away behind the till, and God said, "Oh, do you want to see her or look at her or something?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I peered up through the window. There's a window there, and she peered up at exactly the same time and looked at me, looked straight at me, and like it was perfect timing. I immediately after she said, "Oh, do you want to see her?" So like I doubt that was the coincidence. I reckon like God uses telepathy, and it's really confused me, man. Like I am so confused with life. Like it's not even funny, man. Like solipsism has really, really done my head in. Like solipsism is where you think that you're the only one that exists, and it has done my head in, man. Like I went to hospital because I walked 50k. I walked like 26k out to Pukeroa Bay, and then like went swimming and was communicating with God and these people in my head with my guitar, and then walked 26k back, and my feet were completely like ripped up and stuff. And where was I going with that? Oh, solipsism and stuff. And then I ended up in hospital. I've been in hospital 3 times because of my religion, because of my relationship with God. 3 times. And because my parents don't know God and they just think it's weird. And I tell them about it, and they put me in hospital. For the last time I was in hospital, some woman was yelling at me like, "Oh, so you think he's ugly, dude? Well, I created those two." And no word of a lie, I had just uploaded a video describing how ugly this guy was because I thought that he was stealing Janelle, this girl that I was infatuated with, away from me. So she knew somehow that I had been feeling that way. I don't know how. She must have got it through divination, or she's God, or the other possibility. There's a couple of possibilities. She's God, and they're angels. Maybe they're angels in the world, and they just disguise themselves with people, and they know everything. Or I'm a solipsist, and everyone knows everything about me, and it's just an illusion, because it's not actually that stupid of a thought, because I've heard stories about people who take salvia and they go to other universes for years. Multiple stories, like people that go live entire lives as other people. Or people, I've heard a story that some guy lived 3,000 years as a tree. Now, I don't know where God sends them or how he does it, but he can send people to other realities for years and then come back like that in our timeline within 10 seconds to a minute. So I question my reality every day, and I'm so confused sometimes with my reality, and it's so upsetting because like I don't feel like I'm getting any truth. I feel like it's so complicated to me, and I feel like the Lord can do anything, and He can do anything, and I'm just His little puppet who has to watch this amazing power and then just go to hell. Um, that's how I've been feeling. And it sucks, man. Yeah, it really sucks. But that's about all I wanted to say in that video about Angelina Jolie and my infatuation with Janelle, whom I actually did love. It didn't last after. And if you want to check her out, Janelle Russell with a G, Ginelle Russell. She's amazing. Like, I would have called her my soulmate, but I don't think she likes me. And I don't know if you can have a soulmate that hates you, but I definitely feel like that. I definitely feel like I have a soulmate that just doesn't like me. And it really sucks, man. Like, it's not fair. Really, it's not fair. But anyway, it's just another video in my vlog journey. I'll probably keep on doing this because I really feel like I've been through some things which I don't know if many people go through. I really don't think many people go through the type of things that I've been through. So that's why I wanted to vlog because, you know, you go to church. I went to church and they seem to be on this one track mind of Jesus, and which is fine. Like, Jesus is the Son of God. But I can't relate because, like, no one seemed to have been through the amount of crap that I've been through. Some guy was getting baptized, and all he was saying was glorious things about what God had done in his life. And I don't feel like that. I just don't feel like that in my life. I feel like, yeah, I know God's real. I know Jesus died for my sins, apparently, on the cross. I've heard anecdotal evidence, and I've seen him. I've seen Jesus. But I feel like I'm just being, like, used to demonstrate the power of God without any of the benefits. Like, I feel like God's just showing me how complicated and amazing He is and confusing. Although it says in the Bible, God's not the God of confusion. But I definitely feel like I'm pretty confused. But so you go to church and all these people are just normal Christians, and like, they're just normal. And I just feel like an outsider. And that sucks because I don't want to be an outsider. But, like, I read the Bible like all Christians, and I don't know who goes to heaven, but it seems to me possibly that the Christians that I know will go to heaven are the ones that swallow the Bible hook, line, and sinker. And the Bible is quite clearly not 100% true. I mean, it's quite obvious to me, at least, that Noah's Ark did not happen. I mean, you can't cover the earth in multiple kilometres of water, collect all animals in the entire world on a boat, and then where does the water go? I mean, it's quite clearly a work of fiction. So it leaves me wondering what the nature of the universe is. Is it billions of years old? I think it probably is, but I'm being really rejected by God, I feel. I don't know why. Is it because I don't believe in the Bible 100%? I don't know, but they definitely sound like stories to me when I read through the Bible. Does not sound like fact to me. But the Christians that I see in church are the ones that supposedly just swallow the Bible and just believe the whole thing hook, line, and sinker. Now, I've seen miracles before. I have. I've seen miracles in my own life. So I don't doubt that Jesus Christ could definitely have been raised from the dead. So, like, I wonder, is the gospel real? And is it factual? And, like, I will have no doubt that the gospel is real. I wouldn't be surprised. I know Jesus is real. I know that he died on the cross. Did he get raised from the dead 3 days later? Probably. I mean, easily it could have happened. Easily. But am I being persecuted because I'm not 100% sure? I don't know. Maybe I'm being persecuted because of that. Is it the only part of the Bible that's true? I mean, why would God make a Bible when some of the Bible is make believe and some of it's true? I mean, it's so complicated. I mean, I actually feel like atheists have the moral high ground here because they believe in rational, proven evidence. And although there is pretty much very little to say that the Bible is true, I know that Jesus did die on the cross, which is amazing. Like, I don't even know how that works. And that's why I think atheists have the moral high ground here, but I don't know if in God's eyes they do. I'm not sure. Maybe atheists go to hell. I don't want them to because my family are atheists, and I don't want to. I don't want to see them go to hell. But it just seems like crazy trick. Like I'm really struggling with my faith. Um, to know what's true, what's false, what qualifies you for heaven, what qualifies you for hell. But man, I've been through a lot, man. I've been through a lot. Like with this girl Janelle, who's on YouTube, who ignores all my messages. Way back in 2015 or 2014, I swear she was like, "Oh, let's have a lusty session through the Holy Spirit. Like, let's get each other off, thinking about each other, right?" Like, and I didn't imagine that. How could I imagine that? Like, I felt it in my head, in my brain. She was saying, let's do this, right? And then I see her like the next day at work, and I'm like, yeah, she's communicating with me telepathically. And she was flirting with me. And then one day she comes over to my work, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, I'm leaving for Australia with my boyfriend have kids. And I got really upset, and I told her, I said, well, I don't know what that whole thing was about, but you have a nice life. And it was pretty mean for me to say that. It looked like on her face she went all beetroot red, and I don't think she was very happy. But I really felt like she was my soulmate, and I've never felt this way about anyone. But it's just so confusing and just like it seems pointless. Like, why would I go through anything in life just to go to hell and burn for eternity? All this confusing stuff, all these relationships, just to go like to hell, where I've heard stories. Basically, I've heard the worst story I've heard is you're in a pit and people are biting at you and screaming, and the fire is so hot you can't see it, and it just consistently burns you all over. And if you try and climb out of the pit, there's demons and they whip you. And apparently when you get whipped, it just feels like insanely painful. Like, I just find it really hard to fathom that I'd go through everything I've been through just to go there for eternity. But yeah, the reason I'm vlogging is because I really don't think I've been through the normal kind of Christian experience. I really don't think I've been through the normal Christian experience. Like, been so confusing for me. I met God in 2014 and found out God was real because I saw a flash of light in the sky and then two meteorites go smash, smash like that. And I was like, that can't happen. And immediately felt the spirit of God. And I was like, oh, God's real. But then I immediately saw a police car and felt paranoid that the police were following my journey. So I felt invaded. I felt I felt like it wasn't my journey. I felt that God had put this police car here to affect my journey, experience finding God. So like I felt like I've always been harassed or harassed by people in the Holy Spirit, or whatever, but it definitely hasn't been me, God, and Jesus for 10 years. It's definitely been other people affecting me, like Billy Corgan. And I won't even go there, man, because Billy Corgan really effed me up in the Holy Spirit. Really did. And I got seriously affected and felt it gave me ideas about what heaven was all about. When heaven isn't about the things that I thought they were about, I don't think. So that's why I'm vlogging, because I've been through so much. And I'll continue to read my Bible and post and stuff and keep you updated with what I've been up to in my life. But yeah, there's a bug. I like to clap all my bugs that come flying in my house so I can kill them. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to go to the bathroom, so I'll probably end this here. But keep you posted. Stay blessed. Stay happy. Have a good New Year's. All the rest. Love you all very much. Thank you very much.